Good evening. I'm Byron Scott with a CTV News update. Democrats are moving forward with efforts to remove Confederate statues from the U.S. Capitol. They're also aiming to replace the bust of former Supreme Court Justice Roger Taney, the author of the Dred Scott decision. Maryland Congressman Steny Hoyer says it should be replaced with a sculpture of Thurgood Marshall, the first African-American to serve on the High Court. A vote on the proposal is slated for tomorrow.
Defenders and purveyors of sedition, slavery, segregation, and white supremacy have no place in this temple of liberty.
The presence of these statues in National Statuary Hall collection ignores the key context in which these monuments were first erected. The movement to honor Confederate soldiers, it was a deliberate act to rewrite the very history of the United States and to humanize acts designed to dehumanize African Americans.
The legislation would also remove the statues of John Calhoun, Charles Aycock, and John Clark for their roles in defending slavery and segregation. Well, Maryland reports 627 new COVID-19 cases today. The report comes out as Baltimore City slows down reopenings. Mayor Jack Young today ordering restaurants to suspend indoor dining. He's also ordering residents to wear face coverings in public. Neighboring Baltimore County says it will also require masks in public settings. Governor Larry Hogan says while cases are surging in Baltimore, Howard, and Anne Arundel County, statewide the numbers, he says, are trending in the right direction. Local leaders have urged him to renew statewide dining restrictions. Well, before you head to the nearest MVA branch, make sure you have an appointment. According to officials, full-service branch offices statewide are open but by appointment only. The offices will be available from 8 in the morning until 4:30. Customers will be able to complete driver's license tests, renew licenses, get ID cards, and take the learner's permit test. CTV crews spotted long lines at the Largo MVA building this morning.
I made an appointment, but I expected this.
Just had to call ahead of time, and they give me a reference number, you know, to bring with me and bring my registration, driver's license, insurance information.
I got a 10 o'clock appointment, so I'm here a little early, that's all.
And to make an appointment, visit MVA.MARYLAND.GOV. Well, the Prince George's County Council tables a measure to amend the homestead tax credit. That legislation could have caused homeowner property tax bills to rise more quickly. Opponents said this is not the time to take more money out of the pockets of residents. More than 134,000 unemployment claims have been filed in Prince George's since March. Well, election officials in Maryland are asking for an additional $20.6 million in state funding for the November election. Officials say the extra monies are needed to cover the cost of mail-in ballots and prepaid postage. Federal CARES Act funding covered the cost of the state's largely vote-by-mail primary. Governor Hogan wants voters to apply for mail-in ballots, but top Democrats in the House are demanding the governor provide each Marylander with prepaid postage for the applications. Democrats say they want to mail ballots directly to all Marylanders. Well, the police chief in Anne Arundel County is stepping down. Chief Timothy Altomar announced his retirement last night after 2 decades of service. Altomar says he's leaving because of the movement to strip police of their powers. A few days ago, a black man sued the department, claiming an officer kneed him on the neck after being handcuffed. Altomar says the lawsuit didn't factor into his decision. And elsewhere, lightning is to blame for a house fire in Bowie last night. Crews were called to the 12,300 block of Stonehaven Lane. Witnesses say flames were coming from the second-floor exterior of the home. The blaze then spread to the attic. Officials say no one was inside the house at the time. Well, police arrest a man for allegedly fatally shooting his former girlfriend. The suspect has been identified as Donnell Mitchell. Officers were called to the 9200 block of Stewart Lane back on July 18th. When they arrived, they found a vehicle stopped in the middle of the roadway. The victim, Wendy Robinson, was inside with fatal gunshot wounds. Mitchell is facing several charges. And police have ID'd the victim of a fatal shooting in Hyattsville. 24-year-old Brandon Burton of Riverdale was shot Monday afternoon on the 5300 block of Hamilton Street. He was found in a parking lot near an apartment complex. Anyone with information is asked to call police. And changing gears, have you always wanted to learn how to play a musical instrument? A music company with branches across the DMV can help you learn, and all from the comfort of your own home. KESHIA Butts has our story.
Just Rock Enterprises is offering online music lessons for kids and adults. The business located in D.C., Hyattsville, and Brentwood offered in-person lessons, worked with schools, and even provided bedside comfort at Children's National Hospital. However, due to the pandemic, it had to quickly pivot all of its classes to an online format. So far, it's teaching about 150 kids each week.
It's something to look forward to. I mean, right now, kids may have been in other organized sports or, been a part of their school bands or just, they may have had their own personal bands, and people can't do that anymore right now, temporarily. So it's something that they look forward to. At least that's what a lot of our clients are saying, that's like the one happy moment that the kids are really enjoying after hours.
White also says the virtual classes have helped her staff members who are also performing artists. Just Rock Enterprises will be opening back up its locations in August. For more details or to sign up to take a class, visit justrockenterprises.com. This is KESHIA Butts with CTV News.
And a benefit concert is coming to the DMV. It's called What's Going On DMV Digital Benefit Concert. It's set for this weekend and will feature appearances by radio host Angie Ange, Ari Lennox, and Big Flock, to name a few. The benefit put on by the Media Prince and AMPD is aimed at raising money that will go to Martha's Table, an organization that helps fight hunger, supports wellness, and education. The virtual concert is set for Saturday night.
It's so important now because we are in an area where there's so much, I think, negativity, crisis, panic, turmoil. We're seeing disarray left and right. So I think this is so important to actually allow the people to see those that they look up to in a time where it's so much chaos, to actually have relaxation, some good art, good music, and for a cause.
Again, that concert set for Saturday from 8 until 10 p.m. It will be on Facebook and YouTube. You can also catch it online by going to what'sgoingondmv.com. And that's our newscast for tonight. Join us tomorrow. Good night.
For the latest information on COVID-19 in Maryland, visit the State Health Department website. That's health.maryland.gov. Again, health.maryland.gov. Click the link to the COVID-19 information portal. There you'll find all the latest information about coronavirus. You'll find daily updates on cases and fatalities. Answers to questions about testing and the governor's stay-at-home order are available as well. For specific information about Prince George's, visit PrinceGeorgesCountyMD.GOV. That's PrinceGeorgesCountyMD.GOV. The site offers information about local services for residents and businesses. There's a link for COVID-19 relief donations. Also, food pantry locations are listed. And if you have any questions, call the county COVID-19 hotline at 301-883-6627. That's 301-883-6627.
You're looking at me in the future. Okay. Hi, Isaac.
Hi. Wait a second.
Do you know who I am?
Julia.
This is Jaina. Into the future.
I just wanted to talk to you about what happened with those two girls.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember it was this girl that I was getting bullied by
That one day at PE when they were like yelling at me, and then you just linked arms with me. I don't think you know how much like that helped me, because like I finally like knew that I had somebody.
Because of you, Isaac, and what you did for me years ago, I grew up to be more independent and love myself and just be a little bit more confident.
Aw, I'm like a little tearing up right now. Just to see her in the future just blossom and look beautiful, and that was really amazing.
Here are your AARP top tips on caregiver preparedness during coronavirus. First, form a caregiving team. Create a list of people in your family and friend network who can help with caregiving tasks. Take an inventory of supplies in your loved one's home. Try to have a 2-week supply of essential items. Make a list of the care recipient's medications and medical contacts. Be sure to have prescriptions on hand and ask the pharmacist for an extra 30-day supply. Make a plan to stay connected. To prevent social isolation, set up available technology to help loved ones stay connected and schedule regular chats. Finally, maintain your own self-care. Follow the Centers for Disease Control's guidelines for coronavirus safety. And have a backup plan for care in case you become ill. For more caregiving tips during the coronavirus pandemic, go to aarp.org/caregiving.
I moved to Florida with literally pennies in my pocket and a prayer. I needed a new start. Dacian looks like a very typical 3-year-old until you ask him, "What's your name? How old are you?" My son has a lot of behaviors that would show as being autistic. Most kids can tolerate a variety of foods, but unfortunately for Dacian, everything has to be organic and raw. I wasn't ashamed to go to the food pantries. It's expensive to eat healthy, and nutrition is very important to Dacian's health. The healthy organic food that we receive dramatically helped his social skills. Most people would say, she really doesn't have much of a life, but to me, I have everything right there next to me and my son.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
Scrolling all day, time can disappear. Wanna make it count, why not volunteer?
Posting pics of your food, that takes up time. Time, you've got time to binge all of season 9, though it got so bad.
Time, you've got time. We're gonna grow back and be the same browse you had.
Just a few hours to keep families from harm. Help us end home fires with Sound the Alarm. Volunteer for a day to install free smoke alarms in your community.
Here are AARP top tips on caregiver preparedness during coronavirus. Form a team that can help with caregiving tasks. Take an inventory of essential supplies in your loved one's home. Make a list of the care recipient's medications. Schedule regular calls to fight isolation. Finally, take care of yourself too. Follow the Centers for Disease Control's guidelines for coronavirus safety. For more caregiving tips, go to aarp.org/caregiving.
You are loved. You are valued. You are resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.